New this morning, former President Barack Obama is set to rally with Democratic candidate for governor Abigail Spanberger ahead of the upcoming election. And that rally will take place in Norfolk on November 1st, the last day for early voting. Obama has endorsed Spanberger in her campaign, highlighting her commitment to lowering costs. Now, this is the first campaign visit to Hampton Roads featuring a Democratic president in more than a decade. And at the same time, President Donald Trump broke his silence on the upcoming race for governor in Virginia. And here's what he had to say.
Well, I think the Republican candidate is very good, and I think she should win because the Democrat candidate's a disaster. So I haven't been too much involved in Virginia. I love the state. I did very well in the state. But I will tell you, I think the Republican candidate is excellent, and I think the Democrat candidate is a disaster.
Winsome Earl Sears took to social media after his comments, thanking him for his words of support.
We got to talk about Barack Obama. The Obama drama and the governor's race in Virginia, which I hope Winsome Sears wins, but if I'm being completely honest, I doubt it. I doubt she will. I'm hoping. It still is pretty close. Not as close as I would like personally, but who knows? Us Republicans have been known to show out in massive numbers on election day, and I'm hoping that happens again, and we make it too big to rig. Okay, we make it too big for them to do anything about it. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't think she's gonna win. But there's something interesting that's happening in Virginia, and one being Barack Obama coming out and campaigning, which is quite interesting, you know. But I'm going to play this clip from Winsome Sears and get her thoughts on Barack Obama coming out. Check it out.
Barack Obama is going to be on the campaign trail with your opponent next weekend, 3 days before the election. Does the Obama magic still matter in a place like Virginia?
You know what the Democrats are doing? They have called us back into session because they have the ability to do that. And when are they calling us back into session, Rob? On the very day that President Obama is supposed to show up and all the days that he's here. It's me they're after. And you have to ask yourself again, why? It's because they see what the polls are showing. This is desperation tactics to support Abigail Spanberger.
I think she has a point. And if you guys remember correctly, obviously a lot of these campaigns have their own personal posters, right? That try to give them the most accurate numbers possible. Because the polls that we see, they aren't accurate, which we all saw that this past election, okay? We all saw that. Like, for example, the Iowa poll. Oh my goodness, Trump's gonna lose Iowa. Like, literally, that came out like the day before or a few days before the election. And what do you know? Trump won Iowa pretty darn easily, okay? Absolute bonker polls. The polls try to manipulate how people feel or turnout, I should say, in these elections, and we've seen it time and time again. If the poll isn't from Rasmussen, Trafalgar, or Atlas Intel, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Because it's probably inaccurate. If it isn't from one of those three, and there's one other one, Trafalgar, Atlas Intel, Rasmussen, and there's one other one. But yeah, those three, if it ain't from them, take it with a grain of salt. And so that's what we're looking at right now. Like I said, Obama showing up kind of does lean me towards things are a lot tighter than Democrats would like to admit. Their internal polls are saying something different than what these public polls are actually saying. And so I'm hoping that she actually pulls it out, because that would be a major victory. But a lot of people noticed something with Obama, and I want to read this to you guys. Check this out. Okay? So this brother here posted this. Obama criticized men. Oh, let me put myself on the screen. Let me Wow. Obama criticized men for not supporting a self-acclaimed black woman, Kamala, in the last presidential election. Now he's heading to Virginia to urge people not to vote for a black woman, but to vote for the white woman in Virginia's gubernatorial election. Obama, FYI, we shall vote for the black, strong, and powerful woman, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he's not the only person that has actually noticed this. Other people are calling it out too, and it is a beautiful thing. I love coming across clips of people waking up, because I remember when I had that moment where I woke up and realized, oh, shit, they've been lying to me the entire time. You know, like, this is a bunch of crap. They are filled with nothing but a bunch of lies and hot air. So I love coming across clips like this one. Check it out.
Barack Obama, do us black free thinkers and black conservatives and black Republicans a favor. Please sit down. You are not the president anymore. We don't want to see you. You should be out with your wife in your chair, not trying to keep fighting for the policies that you placed in office when you were once president. You telling black men that you won't have respect for them if they don't support Miss Kamala Harris. Fast forward, here we are witnessing you, my dear friend, the Barack Obama, not supporting a black woman that's running for governor in Virginia right now. You are voting, not voting, you're campaigning against her by siding with the white woman. Now, didn't the people within the Democrat Party, the blacks anyway, were telling us blacks who walked away from the Democrat Party, oh my God, you're serving your white master. Oh my God, you're serving the one who's the white supremacist and all the things. If that's the case, then why is Barack Obama siding with a white woman? A black man siding with a white woman, campaigning against a black woman. Now, mind you, this white woman allowed one of her supporters to have a racial statement towards this black woman, and she didn't really say anything until later on. But yet Barack Obama is siding with this white woman. And y'all really believe that Democrats are for blacks? Democrats don't care about black folk. I don't care how y'all may feel or think. They do not care about black people. They don't care. 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 They only care about us when it comes to a vote. Oh, also when you follow their rules, their regulations, and bow down to their needs and wants on that side. But the moment you choose to step out and become a free thinker and realize what they've been doing is wrong, oh, you are now a problem to them. This is about good and evil, y'all. Good and evil.
Facts. Facts. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that amazing to come across and see? Ain't that amazing? You know, just puts a smile on your face, man. People are waking up, but she ain't the only one. There's more.
Now, y'all help me make this make sense. Last year, I saw Obama chastise black men saying, y'all not supporting this Indian woman. Remember Kamala, who wasn't black, is not black. You know, was, is not. Okay? She's Hindu. She's Indian. But I watched Obama sit there and chastise black men saying, y'all don't want to support this woman. But at the same time, turn around, go to Virginia and campaign against a real natural black woman. Y'all, listen, this let me know one thing. This ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side.
Come on now.
God's side or Satan's side.
Talk that talk, sis. Talk that talk. But yeah, I mean, people can see through the nonsense and the BS of, you know, what Obama is doing here. It's absolutely wild. But it gets even crazier than Obama endorsing the white woman instead of the black woman, even though he scolded us black men for not supporting the alleged black woman in last November's election. I'm sure you guys remember that clip when Obama tried to scold us black men. The NAACP actually endorsed the white woman too. Check it out.
So the NAACP is endorsing the liberal white woman in Virginia over the conservative Christian faith-filled black woman in Virginia for candidate. The NAACP needs to be disbanded. This is an organization that I have no respect for, that at one time did so much for the African American experience in this country, has now become a laughingstock and a joke, has become an organization with no morals, no values, and doesn't represent the civil rights movement that were led by mostly a lot of Christian ministers. It has become a Marxist organization that endorses transgenderism, that destroys the black community, that endorses everything demonic and evil about that's toxic about the black community. You have a woman, they would endorse a white woman, a liberal white woman, over a black woman just because she has an R in front of her name and not a D in front of her name. If they were really about black people, they would endorse candidates based off policies. They would sit down and interview candidates and see what they have to offer the black community. But the NAACP has become an arm of the Democratic Party. They're not a real organization that makes any change. They're not helping homeless black people. They're not helping struggling black people. They are a joke as an organization. They've been a joke for a very, very, very long time. They've done nothing since the civil rights movement for black people. And they're trying to hold on to relevance by endorsing like anybody actually still cares about the NAACP.
Yeah, so the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People is endorsing, no, not the black woman, but the white woman. You cannot make this stuff up, bro. You can't make this up. So basically, what Barack Obama, the NAACP, and all Democrat politicians are telling us is that the only way that you could possibly support black people is if we bow down to the massa, the Democrat Party. You know, the same party that wanted to keep us in slavery, the same party that started the KKK group, the same party that still feels like they own us. The only way that you could possibly be for and support black people is if you bow down to massa, the Democrat Party. Because the only time as a black person you actually matter or you count is if you're a Democrat. You don't count if you're a Republican. You're all of a sudden, not black. Like the guy they all voted for not very long ago said himself, which they all heard, but still voted for him. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Words straight out of Joe Biden's own mouth. Now, could you guys imagine if Uncle Trump were to say those exact same words? Just flip, him and Biden. Could you imagine if you were to say that? The outrage that these liberals would try to come up with? But they had zero. I mean zero. I don't remember hearing a single Democrat, a single liberal cry and complain about the white man saying you aren't black if you don't vote for me. I don't recall hearing a single one. But they would absolutely lose their minds if a Republican were to say that, though. They would lose their minds if Winsome Earl Sears herself said that. If she said, hey, if y'all have a problem figuring out whether you're going to vote for me or Abigail Spanberger in this governor's race, then you ain't black. Liberals and Democrats would lose their minds. You would see segments on the Communist News Network, aka CNN, and BS Now, aka MSDNC. You would see segments on those networks running from morning to night about what she said. How many times do you ever recall hearing a segment on either one of those networks, or any other network for that matter, that wasn't Fox or News Nation or, anything that's somewhat reputable, right? How many times do you ever do you remember hearing a segment about what Joe Biden said and denouncing his words? Not a single time, right? Not a single time. But I guarantee you they would cry and complain if when some Earl Sears said it, though, and she's black. She's black. Man, oh man, goodness gracious. After she wins, which I hope that she does win, I think she should actually say it. I think she should genuinely say it. If you had a problem figuring out whether you were going to vote for me or Abigail Spanberger, then you ain't black. If you couldn't figure that out, then you ain't black. After, she shouldn't say it before. After she wins, she should say that. And I guarantee you, mainstream media will pick that story up like that. And it would be absolutely hilarious to watch. And for her and other Republicans to flip it back on them. Oh, where was the outrage when a white man said it? You getting mad because a black woman is saying these words? Anyway, I just thought this was absolutely bonkers, man. And it goes to show, organizations like the NAACP are an absolute joke. If you don't bow down to the Democrat master, which is the party itself, you don't matter as a person of color, black, brown, whatever. You don't matter unless you bow down and say yes to massa. Simple and plain. And this proves it. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.